Well, top focus this hour comes to us from the state of Maharashtra, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting Nagpur. And in fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Hedgewar Smruti Mandir in Nagpur and paid tribute to the memorials of RSS founders Keshav Balaram Hedgewar and second Sarsanghchalak Golwalkar. RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat was present during Modi's visit to Smruti Mandir. In fact, the administrative headquarters of the RSS. Modi's visit coincides with Sangh's program, which marks Gudi Padwa, the new beginning of the Hindu New Year. This marks the first time a sitting Prime Minister visiting Sangh headquarters, where he will also lay the foundation stone for the extension of a hospital. The meeting takes place amid speculations about tensions between the Sangh and the BJP leadership. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also paid tribute to Dr. Ambedkar at Deekshabhoomi, where the late leader embraces Buddhism with thousands of his followers in 1956. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lay the foundation stone for Madhav Netralaya Premium Center, a new extension building of Madhav Netralaya Eye Institute and Research Center. In fact, what you see on your screen, this is the message which was in fact given by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and in fact this was a written message by him upon visiting the headquarters of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. In fact, joining us on the broadcast, Rahul Kaushik, political analyst. Thank you so much, Rahul, for joining us on the broadcast this morning at News9. First of all, how do you see this visit by Prime Minister Narendra Modi? I just want your quick first thought. How important and pivotal is this meeting with Mohan Bhagwat and Prime Minister visiting the headquarters?
Good morning, Yash. First, I would like to wish everyone on the beginning of the Hindu New Year. May this New Year comes with happiness and prosperity for everyone in the country. See, this visit of the Prime Minister to the RSS headquarters, I would not, as a Swayamsevak myself, I would not see it as a very political kind of a visit. For a Swayamsevak, a visit to Smruti Mandir is always very special, because this particular land is the place where cremation of the two first Sarsanghchalak, who actually created the whole ideological framework of the RSS, happened. Dr. Hedgewar was cremated here, and Shri Golwalkar was cremated here. And every year, thousands of Swayamsevaks come for training sessions here in this particular ground where the Prime Minister visited today. So I think it's a very deeply emotional visit for the Prime Minister for sure, and that's what he has written also in his note in the visitors book there.
Well, absolutely, Rahul. But it's also important to understand how pivotal this visit is. You said let's not read much in the lines over here, but the larger message of this meeting is perhaps very important to understand at this very juncture.
Yeah, see, there are deliberations happening every time, all the time, between all organizations that belong to RSS, because there are Swayamsevaks everywhere. So I think if there are some issues, then they are being tackled at their level. I think some days back when the Pratinithi Sabha happened, there also Dattatreya Hosbole said this, that deliberations, conversations continue to happen at all levels. And I think it is an important moment, because both the Sarsanghchalak of the RSS and the Prime Minister is on same stage, and they have not really shared stage together for many moments in last 10-11 years. They last shared the stage together in the two events of the Sarsanghchalak Mandir, first in the foundation laying and then in the inauguration. And after that, this is the first moment that they are sharing stage, that too in the land of Nagpur. So I'm sure this is an important moment, and I think whatever deliberations that are required to happen between them, that's going to happen there.
Well, absolutely. And Rahul, it's also important to highlight that today's meeting is on the day of Gudi Padwa. First of all, you wished our viewers a very happy new year of the Hindu calendar. Perhaps Gudi Padwa and this meeting also sends out a very robust message there, that Prime Minister and perhaps Prime Minister Narendra Modi becomes the first sitting Prime Minister to visit RSS headquarters too.
Yeah, I think it's a very important moment, because not only it is the first day of the Hindu New Year, which is celebrated in several forms across the country. Somewhere it's called Gudi Padwa, somewhere it's called Cheti Chand. Here in the north, it's called Vikrami Samvat. So, plus it's the birth anniversary of Dr. Hedgewar also. The RSS founder was born on this particular day as per the Hindu calendar in the year 1889 in Nagpur. So I think that way is also an important date. And Prime Minister present there on the birth anniversary of Dr. Hedgewar on the beginning of a Hindu New Year, I think will also move towards some new pleasant beginnings in the country, in the larger Hindu society.
Rahul, there were a lot of speculations about, like you mentioned, about the Bengaluru's RSS meet, the All India Pratinidhi Sabha. There also, a lot of journalists ask questions to Sunil Ambedkar and also to Dattatreya Hosbale about the elections of the BJP president. So do you think there will be deliberations on that front too? Yes, I know that RSS has made it very clear that that's BJP's call to take. But do you think that there will be some discussions regarding on those fronts too?
See, what I think in this particular issue is that the Prime Minister's visit is a very compact one. Prime Minister has gone to the RSS headquarters. He was with the Sarsanghchalak for some time. Then he played, then he paid his tributes to the RSS founder and the second Sarsanghchalak, and he came back from there. So I think there was no much time for deliberations, conversations there, and these are a conversation related to the BJP president must be a very important, a very detailed kind of conversation that cannot happen in some minutes. So I think that is a part of the ongoing process that must be happening at some time somewhere. And as the Sarkareva said in the Akhil Bharatiya Pratinidhi Sabha, beyond a point is not something which the RSS is concerned about.
Well, absolutely. But I also want to ask to you, this visit, do you think signals a shift in the BJP RSS relationships? Perhaps we can say, because there were a lot of reports that there were certain things which weren't right between the RSS and the Bharatiya Janata Party.
See, yes, there have been reports, but I'm not sure if these reports were true or not, because at the ground level, RSS Karyakartas and BJP Karyakartas are generally the same. So these kinds of reports that there is a tussle between the leadership of both organizations, or there are some differences happening. I think differences happening everywhere. In the end, it's a big family, and whenever there is a family discussion, there are differences. But what is important is that after all differences, people come at one point and then move forward from that. I think that has been happening for last 100 years of the RSS and for the last 50, 60 years since the BJP has been in the existence, and that's going to continue also.
Do you think it's also a very big message to the cadre that Prime Minister has also always talked about Sangh being part of the RSS? Do you think this visit will also once again reinforce PM's image as one of the staunch believers of the RSS ideology?
I think for sure, and it's very important. It's a message to all the Swayamsevaks and all to BJP Karyakartas that we all belong to an organization that has devoted 100 years for the betterment of this nation, for the betterment of Dharma, for the betterment of society as a whole, and has given so many great Karyakartas, dedicated people who have given their life for the work of motherland. So I think that way it is very important. It will certainly give a very positive message to all the workers who have been working on ground for such a long time, and they will surely understand and will be very happy today that the Prime Minister has visited that place, which has been a source of inspiration for thousands and thousands of Swayamsevaks for the last 100 years. And this shows his personal devotion and his personal dedication towards the message of the RSS also.
Rahul, there will be a lot of political chatter also about this visit, and opposition definitely is going to jump guns and talk about this visit. Before opposition says anything about this PM's visit to the RSS headquarters, any message to the opposition parties there, being the Congress party or any other political party which raises questions on this visit?
I think today is a very good day and we should not talk negative things beyond a point. I think opposition have too many differences to solve among themselves also. They should concentrate on that, and they should rather take inspiration from the Prime Minister, from the BJP Karyakartas, that how they have been taking themselves for last 10 years taking inspiration from the RSS, taking inspiration for all good things that have been happening across the country, and how the Prime Minister has repeatedly mentioned about his roots in his last some interviews also in the Lex Fridman broadcast, before that also. So I think the Congress and the other parties of opposition also need to understand that in the end, we all belong to this country, we all belong to this faith, and I think we all need to work together for doing that, putting our differences aside. Let's not concentrate on differences. Let's not concentrate on politics everywhere. It's not about politics when it comes to the nation.
Well, yes, and I also want to ask you that there are a lot of crucial elections coming up in the next 2 years. We have Bihar elections, we have Tamil Nadu elections. So can we also see this visit perhaps as a move towards consolidating the Hindu votes here? Because opposition always says that these visits are more political in nature than personal, because you've been saying that we should not look this visit from a political prism, and in fact we should look this visit from a personal visit prism as well.
I think elections come and go. This is a country of elections. Every 6 months there's an election. And if it has been linked to an election, then Prime Minister would have probably timed this visit before the Lok Sabha elections last year. So I think there's not an election consideration whatsoever. And Prime Minister has repeatedly, not only the Prime Minister, but all the senior leaders of the BJP have repeatedly told people about their roots, how their roots are in the RSS. Yesterday also in a conclave of a news channel, the Home Minister also talked about how RSS has shaped his worldview in the last many decades. So I think normal karyakartas on ground do not need to be assured of what the Prime Minister and the party thinks about their roots and their connection with the RSS, and they have a very clarity about it. As much regarding the opposition, I think if opposition needs to consolidate its own house. I was reading in the newspaper just in the morning that there have not been a meeting of the opposition alliance since the parliament had started. I'm not sure how they are coordinating. I'm not sure if they are still on the same stage or not. So I think they should learn from RSS. They should learn from the BJP how they have been working together for the betterment of the motherland for last 100 years, for the last 80 years.
Rahul, you said you yourself is a Karyakarta of RSS. Looking at these visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and RSS chief together, what it makes you feel, and perhaps how does it gives a sense to you, like how it goes in your mind looking at these visuals that both the top leaders together?
See, it makes me very happy. I have been to this place multiple times, and every visit to I have written on Twitter also just a couple of moments back that every visit to Smruti Mandir for a Swayamsevak is like a visit to a temple, to a Devasthan, where he draws inspiration to work dedicatedly for the motherland. I think every Swayamsevak must be very happy because the Prime Minister has established himself as a world leader today. The world looks up to him. Yesterday only, President Trump said that he's a great Prime Minister, and India has got a brilliant Prime Minister. So I think one of us, someone who initiated his public life from RSS, like millions of us have done, and have reached such a place, and still he remembers his roots, and still he shows the devotions to his core values. I think that's exemplary, and I think we all need to take inspiration from that.
I also want to ask you that how this visit actually reflects on the balance of power within the Sangh Parivar. We know that in Sangh Parivar there are numerous organizations, around 35 to 37 organizations there. But how does this portrays when it comes to the balance of power between the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh?
See, the RSS works as an ideological guide to a number of organizations who are working in their own fields, whether it be Vishwa Hindu Parishad working in the field of faith, religion, where it be Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram working for the tribals, where it be all other organizations, Saksham working for disabled people, and so many other organizations. BJP is one such organization that has been tasked to work in the field of politics. Swayamsevaks from RSS go there and work for the betterment of the society. I think all such organizations have their own importance in their own sectors. The Prime Minister also talked about in the Lex Fridman because how he said that the BMS, the Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh, is the topmost organization across the world in the context of number of members when it comes to the number of members. So is the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, so is the ABVP, world's largest student organization. Every organization that Swayamsevak have started has reached to the top in their own fields. So is the BJP in the last 10 years have accomplished. So I think it's very good. It sends a very good message. And all such organizations, all the sister organizations of BJP and the and the RSS as a parent organization, I think it sends a very good message.
Well, thank you so much, Rahul Kaushik, for joining us at this very hour at News 9. We'll come back to you for more of your insights, but for the moment, thank you so much for joining us on News 9.